You better not shout, you better not cry. Konami doesn't care if you've been naughty or nice. Yu-Gi-Oh! Banlist season is here. What's going on, guys? It's Cimoooooooo. Today I'm bringing you the August 29th, 2016 ban list and my reactions to the ban list. I know this is a lot of your favorite video of all year because you know what? It's ban list season. They just put this up not even 10 minutes ago. I don't even have pants on right now. I was scouring to get my setup all ready to get this out. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing that we can see right here, without really going anywhere, and this was kind of inevitable, is Performer Pal Monkey Board. OCG, I believe, has Monkey Board at 0, so I think that makes perfect sense. They've kind of been falling in alignment with that. And a lot of us feel like a one-card scale is pretty fucking OP, so I think it's probably for the better of the game that if Monkey Board goes away, just because simply Joker into Monkey Board or vice versa, it's just way too fucking powerful. It's just so much advantage. It's an extremely, I guess, unfair comeback mechanic for Pendulums that they have a one card like that. And plus with something like Kieran, they can just bounce it back and it's really abusable. So I'm not surprised Monkey Board's gone. I didn't know they were going to do it, but OCG's had it gone. I'm not going to miss it. So moving on, for those of you who don't know, we're pretty much just going to scroll down the list, and I'm going to be just as surprised as you are if you're watching this for the first time. Nothing else is banned so far. This is interesting. Oh, Kaiser Colosseum is banned. Wow, okay, so I don't think anyone was fucking expecting Kaiser Colosseum to get banned, and I'm not even sure why. I mean, if you look at it kind of in a vacuum, Kaiser Colosseum is kind of a little bit unfair to an extent. It's kind of unfair if you have like a Dark Destroyer and Kaiser Colosseum, or like something that's just like unbeatable plus Kaiser Colosseum. So I guess I see why they did it. I really don't know if there's some other reason they did this, because that's just, I feel like that's just completely out of left field. No one was really playing Kaiser Colosseum, so I guess not many people are gonna miss it. But I'm just really curious as to why that was the case. So if any of you guys know why they banned Kaiser Colosseum, leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. So moving on, Monkey Board and Kaiser Colosseum. I think, that's it, yeah. So that's it for the ban. I was not predicting anything should be banned, except for like if they were gonna bring back Zen Meaty, like Wind Up Hunter. But I mean, for the most part, everything in the game is pretty okay. That's like not warranted being banned, in my opinion. So moving on to Limited. Oh boy. Here we go. Sir Malibranch of the Burning Abyss. So, okay, just like OCG, Sir is now at 1. Makes perfect sense because a lot of people feel like the Dante Seer loop is way too fucking powerful. And the fact that you had 2 Seers, like Graph was at 1, but no one really gives a shit, being able to recur with Seer was the more important fact. So, now that it's at 1, you can still loop, but you can't loop nearly as good as you could before. So that's a pretty big hit to Burning Abyss, as a lot of us forecasted. So moving down on the list, Aether, the Heavenly Monarch, is at 1. No! My Monarchs! Okay, well, I think a lot of us saw this coming, though. Aether is just fucking incredible. I mean, being able to just bring out anything, like, it enables OTKs, it enables disruption with Kuraz, like, it gets your engine going, like, it does so much for the deck, and a lot of people really wanted to see this card go. So, it's not gone, it's at 1, but being at 1 really hinders the potency of this deck. Like in the OCG, they only, I think, limited Pantheism and Domain, and I think everything else was still at 3. So the fact that they hit Aether here is really fucking huge. And again, I also thought the Monarchs were going to take a pretty big hit. I didn't think they were going to take this big of a hit, so I'm really curious to see what else is going to be on the list. Cosmo Dark Destroyer! I knew it! I fucking knew it! Oh, and Kieran! Yes! Yes! Oh my god, this is like fucking Christmas. Okay, so let's start with Dark Destroyer. Dark Destroyer's at 1. I think so many people were calling for this because Dark Destroyer is just such an unfair card. Can't be targeted, 3000 body, it recurs, like, it's just fucking crazy. It enables like huge OTKs with the deck. At 1, it's still playable, but now it's like, you better hope nothing happens to it because now you've only got 1. And Kieran going to 1, thank you God, because Metal Foes especially now, they played that shit at 3, and pretty much every Pendulum deck right now has been playing Kieran at 3, because Kieran is so fucking good! I mean, just being able to bounce back your best cards, but also being able to quick play, bounce back your opponent's stuff, and it can't be targeted or destroyed. Like, that's just fucking nuts. So thank God, 2 extremely, extremely annoying cards out of the game. I think this is honestly for the better. Like, I used to play Cosmo, and I played a little bit of Pendulum as well. I'm really glad both of these cards are gone, because like they're completely unfair. So moving on. Oh man, I'm happy. I'm probably gonna see Dante on here. I'm already expecting. Wow! They limited Beatrice instead of Dante. That's really interesting. So Dante's still at 3, but Beatrice is at 1. I don't think really a lot of us were expecting Beatrice to get hit on the list. With only 1 Beatrice though, that really, it's interesting because it's like Burning Abyss is like almost still playable, but you can't like go Beatrice Turbo on people now. It's like you get your 1 Beatrice, which is all well and good, and your 1 Seer and your 1 Graph, I guess too, but I mean, that's kind of an interesting choice. I actually prefer that to an extent because I really like Dante as a card, and I love Burning Abyss as a whole, so I think it's more fair to hit Beatrice than Dante, because now the deck is still technically playable, and as a lot of you know, I really am in favor of them keeping decks as playable as possible. So, really interesting decision there. I'm really interested. Emergency teleports down to 1 now. Okay, this I don't understand at all, because putting it to 2 did nothing, and now they have it at 1 when you hit Cosmo Dark Destroyer to 1 as well. Granted, I guess, like, Metal Foes are still a thing, but even so, like, Emergency Teleport's not, like, too popular. I'm really interested as to why they put Teleport to 1, so that's a really odd call there. And then, Pantheism of the Monarchs and Pendulum Call both to 1. Man, they are hitting a fuckload of shit on this list. Pantheism, I think every single person predicted, because Pantheism is, like, legitimately the best card in the game right now. And Pendulum Call, I can see Pendulum Call why they ban it, or not ban it, but limit it, because it's just so good in the fact that you get your Pendulum Scales, you basically turn a dead card and Pendulum Call into 2 scales, and then they can't be destroyed or anything, so that's pretty strong. Again, I didn't think a lot of us were expecting Pendulum Call to make the list, though. I think they're kind of trying to reel in Pendulums to kind of balance them from the perspective of they need to just really keep Pendulums as a good mechanic, but not have them be like super OP, that everything else doesn't have a chance. And I think that's kind of what this hit alludes to. So moving on, then we have Monarch Storm for the 1. Fuck, dude, they just shafted Monarchs in the dick. Holy crap. So now we have Aether to 1, we have Stormforth to 1, and we have Pantheism to 1. Stormforth makes sense though. OCG, I believe, still has it at 3, but Stormforth is, like, legitimately the most unfair card in the game. Like, being able to take your opponent's monster for free, and on your opponent's turn with Aether, is just fucking crazy. So, it basically dodged everything in the format, which is why Monarchs were so potent. So, again, they just did not want Monarchs to exist at all. And I think that's it, wow. So, a lot of cards on the limited list. Okay, so let's move on to semis. Max C is at 2? What the fuck? They put Max C at 2? Are you kidding me? Oh my, that doesn't even make sense. Why the fuck would you put Max C to 2? Oh my god, like, are they basically just like wanting us to just bend over and take the Blue Eyes dick? Because that's what that is with Max C at 2. That's all I get from this. Because Burning Abyss is basically, like, not dead, but fuck. Max C to fucking 2, guys. Holy shit. Ryo is at 2. Okay, this is getting interesting. And Wind Up Magician is at 2 as well. I gotta see the rest of this. That's gotta go down. Okay, so that's it. So, Max C, holy fuck. Thunder King Ryo's interesting because if anyone remembers that card being at 3, that was fucking scary. And so I actually really like Ryo just as a standalone card. 1900 body, prevents an inherent special summon, prevents any player from adding cards, just a really good stun card all around. So I'm really kind of happy to see it back at 2. Then Wind Up Magician, totally fine. I mean, Zen Meidi's still banned, so who gives a fuck, but whatever. And then moving into Unlimited, Thousand-Eyes 6 at 3, no one cares. Allure of Darkness is at 3, holy fuck. And then Cold Sarcophagus is also at 3. So that's it for the new ban list. This is what we're going to be playing for the next few months. Overall, so let's kind of go through the meta decks. Monarch's got the Shaft, pretty hard. Pendulum
took it pretty hard too, but with like metal foes and stuff like that, it's still playable. They just have a lot of their best tools gone, like Monkey Board and things like that. What else really? Cosmo took it with Dark Destroyer and E-Telly going to 1. It's just like, it's really, really weird. Burning Abyss took it with Beatrice going to 1, but now they have 3 Allure. So again, like, you can still play Burning Abyss, because Dante's still at 3. You only have 1 Seer and 1 Graph and 1 Beatrice, but theoretically you could still play the deck, and hell, you can even maybe still play Burning Abyss Monarch as well. So that kind of dealt with that. They didn't touch anything with water. They didn't touch Blue Eyes at all, like most of us thought was going to happen. Holy fuck. They didn't touch, other than Kieran, metal foes are pretty much looking still pretty strong. Yeah, that's it. So this is going to be a really, really interesting format. I really can't wait to see what comes out of this. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this ban list. Is there anything else you wanted to see, or what was your favorite part of the entire list? So, as always, thank you all so much for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.
Cimoooooooo!